Imagine walking through a quiet pine forest, thinking about your next meal or how life is going absolutely nowhere, when suddenly, boom, you find a human leg dangling from a tree branch. No body attached, no explanation, just a leg, swinging like a creepy Christmas ornament. Now, unless you're completely numb to horror, you'd probably scream, faint, or decide, you know what, I'm never hiking again. But not Hunter Emmanuel. Nope, he's not the type to scream or run. He's a former security officer, which means he's seen things, though perhaps not something as bizarre as a severed leg carefully tied to a branch. But hey, in noir stories like this one, we don't ask for logic, we ask for grit, confusion, and characters who are as emotionally accessible as a brick wall. And on that front, Hunter Emmanuel does not disappoint. Hunter Emmanuel is a noirish character, drifting through life without much purpose. He's not really investigating anything when the story begins. He's just there. But then this leg shows up in the pine forest. No murder scene, no blood trail, no clues. Just a leg. The woman it belongs to? She's alive. Yes, alive. Someone cut off her leg at the hip, and yet she's somehow survived. Recuperating in the hospital like this is just another bad day.
Who does that?
The woman's name is Zara. She's described as a prostitute, which immediately tells Hunter two things. First, the police aren't going to bother with this case because, well, the police have better things to do than investigate crimes against women they deem unimportant. And second, it's now his job, for no logical reason, to find out who cut her leg off. Why? Because, as he so confidently declares, a man must investigate. That's it. No backstory, no deep emotional drive. Just this vague sense of moral obligation, or maybe it's just boredom.
Pay attention to me, I'm bored.
If you're hoping for a Sherlock Holmes moment here, you're in the wrong story. Hunter Emmanuel has none of Holmes's sharp deduction skills, nor does he have the brooding brilliance of Hercule Poirot. In fact, he doesn't even seem particularly good at investigating. You'd think finding a severed leg would trigger some kind of instinct or clue-gathering frenzy, but nope. Hunter spends much of his time wandering through conversations with Zara that feel, well, off. There's this strange dynamic between Hunter and Zara, but not in a way that makes you root for them. It's not exactly romance, though there's a flicker of attraction, particularly from Zara's side. But you don't feel warmth or connection. The characters are deliberately kept at a distance, almost as if the author doesn't want you to get too close. Zara knows who cut off her leg. She knows why it happened. She's just not telling. And that's pretty much the entire plot. Hunter wants to solve the case. Zara refuses to give answers. We, as readers, are stuck between them, wondering if we're ever going to find out what's going on. Spoiler, we won't. The closest Hunter comes to getting any answers is when, brace yourself for peak noir frustration, he gets knocked out and wakes up from a coma in the hospital. Yep, that's how his investigation goes. It's like watching a detective movie where the detective spends half the runtime unconscious.
I'm gonna go back to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.
The story I've been talking about is Hunter Emmanuel by Constance Myburgh, and here's my take. If you like your noir stories messy, surreal, and dripping with unsettling imagery, you might actually enjoy this one. But if you're looking for a clean, clever mystery that ties everything together, you're going to be disappointed. The characters aren't designed to be loved or pitied. Hunter isn't a hero you root for. Zara isn't a victim you feel connected to. There's this deliberate coldness in the story, this distance between the characters and the reader. And while that might sound like a flaw, I think it was intentional. It's what gives the story its unique, unsettling tone.
Oh, that's cold.
This story is dark, gritty, and unsettling. Constance Myburgh, or Jenna Bass, as we'll learn later, knows how to create an atmosphere that crawls right under your skin. She's just excellent at evoking these disturbing, grisly images that make you curl your lip and squirm just a little bit. That severed leg hanging in the pine forest? It's so vivid, you can practically smell the pine needles mixed with dried blood. But here's the thing. While the imagery works, the story as a whodunit really doesn't. It's not really a mystery in the traditional sense because there's no actual investigation that leads anywhere. Hunter is less of a detective and more of a confused bystander. And Zara? She's like a locked vault. We keep waiting for her to open up, to tell us what's really going on, but the key just never comes. It's as if the story sets up this great intriguing crime, but then decides, nah, we're not solving it, you figure it out.
Ugh, I have stress odor now.
One of the things that really stands out in Hunter Emmanuel is the dialogue. Or, to be more specific, how strange the dialogue feels. The exchanges between Zara and Hunter don't flow naturally. They're a bit forced, almost like the characters are reading lines from a script they don't believe in. And while this might have been a deliberate artistic choice, it leaves you feeling just a little bit disconnected from them. This disconnection is part of a larger issue with the story's style. Myburgh uses a technique where dreams and reality are mixed together, not in a way that blurs the line between them, but more like they're two separate layers that refuse to blend, like oil and water. We can tell what's real and what's not, but the transitions feel jarring. Instead of creating a surreal, dreamlike narrative, it creates a story that feels fractured. Now, I'll be honest, Hunter Emmanuel is not a story that's easy to appreciate on the first read. It's frustrating. It feels like the author is hiding too much information, as if we're supposed to play some kind of guessing game but without any of the clues. And yet there's something compelling about it. It's not empty. It's trying to say something, though what exactly it's saying might depend on how much patience you have as a reader.
That meeting could have been done in a 2-line email.
It reminded me of Tale of a Bluebird by Ni Aikwe Parks, another crime story where there's no clear resolution. And I actually love that kind of ending. Sometimes not knowing is better. Sometimes the lack of answers forces you to think harder, to feel the weight of the story in a way that a neat little resolution would ruin. So is Hunter Emmanuel a failure? No. But is it a traditional, satisfying noir detective story? Also no. It's like a puzzle with missing pieces. But maybe that's the point. Now let's talk about the mind behind this story. Constance Myburgh is actually the pen name of Jenna Bass, a South African filmmaker, photographer, writer, and even a retired magician. Yes, you heard that right, magician. Jenna's award-winning short film The Tunnel, set in Zimbabwe, has been screened at Sundance and Berlin film festivals. She was also working on her debut feature film, Talk Toki, a supernatural noir set in Cape Town. If that doesn't scream multi-talented, I don't know what does. Oh, and she's the editor and co-creator of Jungle Gym, a pulp literary magazine for African writing. You can tell she's someone who's not afraid to experiment with form and style, and Hunter Emmanuel is definitely proof of that. To wrap it up, Hunter Emmanuel is not for everyone. It's unconventional, surreal, and a little frustrating. But it has moments of brilliance, especially in its gritty language and bold imagery. Whether you'll love it or hate it depends entirely on how you read it. For me, I think it's one of those stories that lingers. It doesn't give you answers, but it makes you ask the right questions. And maybe that's enough. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.